The magic of winter. Jingle, tinkle. The Christmas tree, likely the largest she had ever seen in her small life, stood tall and proud, glowing with bright lights. Its branches wore colorful ornaments and twinkling stars that shimmered like a dream. Beneath the tree, a large rug sprawled out, its design a mesmerizing dance of colors. Blue hugged red, and together they welcomed a swirl of other shades, as tiny stars twirled around them like dancers in the sky. It was Christmas Eve in her new home. And there it was, nestled under the tree, a soft, inviting pillow tied with a pink ribbon, the gift. The lower ornaments of the tree, large and perfectly round, began to sway gently. It was almost as if the show was about to begin. Moments later, those ornaments started spinning, each one performing its own delicate dance. Blue, red, green, and silver cast their glowing hues, reflecting shades of black, white, and brown. A silver ornament caught the light and mirrored the tiniest detail, a pink paw peeking from beneath snowy white gloves. Tink, clink. Short little claws, neatly trimmed, tapped rhythmically against the spinning ornaments. Behind the fresh green branches, two wide, curious eyes peeked out, one adorned with a patch of black, the other with brown. In the middle of her face, a triangle of white led down to a little pink nose, perfectly set between those inquisitive eyes. Her name was Mio. 7 months old, and already the picture of intelligence and curiosity. Her tiny frame, painted with her tricolor coat, earned her the label of calico in the human world. But Mio didn't care about labels. Her patchy colors might have resembled a tiger's if the black and brown on her coat had aligned differently. Yet despite these natural designs, her white-gloved paws, pink pincushion pads, and dainty pink nose, borrowed perhaps from Rudolph himself, revealed her true nature, brave yet gentle, curious yet grounded. Our little Mio. Mio didn't climb the tree like other cats might. She was content with what she had, a simple wish to knock down just one ornament so she could play with it under the tree until it was time to rest. And yet, despite her repeated attempts, none of the ornaments fell. She tapped one, then another. They spun and twirled but stayed firmly in place. Her small disappointments didn't last long, though. Mio soon found joy in the spinning reflections on each shiny ornament. 1, 2, 3. She began counting her reflections from different angles. 4. Mio paused mid-count, her focus stolen by the reflection of something unexpected, the gift beneath the tree. Her little pillow, her place to curl up and rest, or so she called it. In reality, it was a plush, beautifully crafted cat bed, Santa's early gift for Mio's first Christmas, in her first home with her human dad. Yes, she had a warm bed, a home, a tree, a family. In her short 7 months, Mio had already tasted the joys of living with her human grandpa, her grand genius, a retired professor. She had relished the magic of colors created by her human grandma, a fashion designer who brought colors to life. And Mio herself had flown across oceans in the arms of her superhero, a man without a cape but a true rescuer, in Mio's own words. And she'd even met a queen. Could you believe it? Little Mio, in her small but speedy life, had met a queen and gained a human dad. Mio understood gratitude. She silently thanked her cat mom in her heart. She remembered her mom's words, etched in her memory like clouds in the sky. Little girl, humans will light up their houses to find joy, but we, as cats, bring light to their lives with the glow in our eyes, during their darkest hours. "Thank you, Mom," Mio whispered as she approached her new bed. She hesitated for a moment, her paw hovering over the first letter printed on the bed. The letters were festive, green and red. Mio knew the meaning of family, but not yet in her newly learned fourth language. She paused, spelled out the letters aloud in her kittenish tone, and smiled. Family. The hesitation melted away. She carefully climbed onto the pillow, choosing a spot beside the letters so as not to disturb them. Her little pink nose slowly moved down to rest against the letters of her new bed. Family. "Mio, Mio," a voice interrupted the magic of the moment. It was the goldfish. Perched near the top of the large aquarium, mounted on the living room wall, it poked its head out of the water. "Do you have any idea when your dad will arrive?" it asked, glancing toward the deeper water. Below, a festive underwater scene unfolded. A table was set for the holiday feast, plates, forks, and knives ready, but the food was conspicuously missing. Snails, colorful fish, and tiny frogs sat around the table, eagerly awaiting their meal. The goldfish, clearly the aquarium spokesperson, pressed further. "Mio, Mio, don't pretend to be a sleeping beauty. I know you're not sleeping." But Mio didn't even turn her head. Her silence wasn't rude, it was deliberate. Her reasons were tied to something only she understood. Earlier that day, the aquarium residents had protested about their holiday feast, holding tiny signs that read, "Food, Holiday, and Blizzard." Their activism worked, prompting Mio's dad to run out to the pet store just before the snowstorm arrived that Christmas Eve. While Mio admired their determination, she had her own protest now, the protest of silence. Why? Perhaps she hadn't received an invitation to their holiday feast, or perhaps she was frustrated at failing to learn their underwater breathing techniques, despite several attempts during her bath routines. Or maybe, just maybe, she simply wanted to enjoy the magic of sleep without interruption. The goldfish, realizing the effort was futile, sighed. With a splash, it dove back into the water to join the others in setting up the final touches on their holiday table. Sleep and dream were nearly hand in hand, but curiosity had started tugging at the edges of sleep's embrace. Knock, knock. The wind, mild and persistent, was eager to share the news with Mio. "Mio, Mio, you shouldn't miss the musical. In my company," it whispered. The wind shifted its tone from a gentle piano serenade to a brisk knocking against the window, urging Mio's attention. Outside, snowflakes fell, swirling and holding hands as they landed in perfect formation, blanketing the ground with winter's quiet magic. But the scene wasn't complete without an artist's touch, a new stroke on its frosty canvas. On the window pane appeared something new, pinkish smudges of a little nose and two tiny paw prints. It was Mio's work. Her nose and toes tingling from the cold, Mio backed away just enough to admire the snowflakes' graceful dance from the impression she'd left on the frosty glass. Intelligence sparkled in her green eyes as she observed her creation. At just 7 months old, Mio was already a thinker. She had learned from her grand genius that opposites like heat and cold often create reactions worth exploring. And so even this small experiment, her warm breath meeting the icy glass, felt like a moment of discovery. Satisfied with her experiment, Mio decided to heed the call of the moment, to let herself be swept into sleep under the symphony of the dance called the Snowflakes. The fireplace's flames faded to soft, glowing embers, crackling gently. The spinning ornaments glimmered in the low light, and the snow outside blanketed the world in quiet peace. Sleep, dream, and snow. Hee hee. Crackle, crackle. Laughter, giggles, shrieks, and joy. Mio's freshly closed eyes fluttered open with a slightly annoyed expression. She recognized the sound immediately, children's laughter outside. And while laughter was the purest melody of life, even it couldn't win against the pull of her dream. And then the dream world opened before her.